Welcome back to my channel. I am back with another review, so if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you know every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much to everybody who has subscribed to my channel. I appreciate you all, and let's just get right into this review. So at the very beginning of this episode, Brandy ends up meeting up with Jennifer to let her know everything that went down between her and Evelyn at the end of last week's episode. Now, at the end of last week's episode, Brandy and Evelyn ended up getting into a really heated back and forth that almost ended up turning physical because Evelyn felt like Brandy wasn't being a good friend to Brooke when she decided to invite Jackie to her cooking event that she knew that Brooke was going to be at, knowing that Brooke doesn't want to be around Jackie at all. Now look, I can understand Brooke feeling some type of way about Brandy inviting Jackie to the event without telling her about it first so that she can have the option not to show up to an event that Jackie's going to be at if she didn't want to be there. However, I feel like Evelyn is making this more of a big deal than it actually needs to be because at the end of the day, Jackie didn't even end up showing up to Brandy's event, so none of them had to see her anyway. They didn't have to be around her. They didn't have to interact with her. So I really don't understand why it keeps coming up in conversation. And I also feel like if Brooke had an issue with Brandy inviting Jackie to an event without telling her about it first, then I feel like she should talk to Brandy about that herself instead of allowing Evelyn to be her mouthpiece and making it a more bigger deal than it needs to be. Which is exactly what Brandy was telling Jennifer, is that she just wants Evelyn to stay out of her and Brooke's business. But Jennifer said that right now everybody is protective over Brooke, and that's the reason why Evelyn is acting the way that she's acting, and she just feels like Brandy needs to have a conversation with Brooke, which Brandy agreed that she would have a conversation with Brooke. Now, at this point, I'm looking at Cheyenne 3 times sideways because she's supposed to be friends with Jackie, but yet she keeps having contact with Evelyn, and Evelyn is the one that had Jackie investigated, so you would think that after she was at that dinner where Evelyn brought out this information that she found about Jackie, that Cheyenne wouldn't really want to have anything to do with Evelyn anymore. But apparently that's not the case in this situation because Cheyenne actually ends up calling up Evelyn at the beginning of this episode, and she invites her to this event that she's putting together for women's empowerment, and she lets Evelyn know that she will be inviting Jackie, but even though Jackie's gonna be there, she still wants the other women to come, so she ends up asking Evelyn to invite all the other ladies. Now, Evelyn does agree to come, but she ends up asking Cheyenne if she told Jackie about the dinner that they had where she exposed that Jackie was arrested for prostitution, allegedly in 1987, and surprisingly, Cheyenne said that she hadn't told Jackie about it, but she did say that she plans on telling Jackie about it before the event so that Jackie doesn't feel blindsided. And even Evelyn thought that that was a little bit fishy of Cheyenne to not tell her friend Jackie about her being exposed for prostitution at a dinner with these women who she knows doesn't like her, because Evelyn ended up getting in her confessional and saying that had she would have been in Cheyenne's shoes and she went to a dinner where a bunch of women that didn't like her friend were exposing her, she would have called her friend and told her immediately. So I feel like everybody at this point is looking at Cheyenne 3 times sideways. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't really feel like, Evelyn has genuine reasons for trying to build the friendship with Cheyenne anyway. I think that she's trying to befriend Cheyenne so she can try to get some information out of Jackie, or so that she can turn Cheyenne against Jackie so that Jackie won't have anybody to be her friend this season. I don't know, something's fishy about the both of them to me. Now, Brooke and Brandy end up meeting up because Brandy decided to take Jennifer's advice and try to have a conversation with Brooke so that they can squash whatever issues that they're having. And Brandy immediately takes full accountability for everything, and she ends up apologizing to Brooke for not telling her that Jackie was coming. That way she could have had the choice of whether or not she wanted to go or not. And Brooke actually quickly accepted Brandy's apology, which I knew was going to happen because I knew that all that needed to happen was Brooke and Brandy just needed to have a talk about the situation and it would have been fixed. So I feel like Evelyn was definitely blowing things out of proportion. However, I do feel like during this conversation between Brooke and Brandy, that Brandy was doing too much to try to prove to Brooke that she's really her friend, because she started saying that she doesn't care about Jackie and she's not cool with Jackie. And although I understand her not trying to be friends with Jackie, that's fine. But if she can be cordial with Jackie, that should be fine, and it shouldn't bother Brooke if she is. I don't know, I just felt like Brandy was trying too hard hard to prove to Brooke that she's really her friend, even though I feel like when Evelyn was saying all this bad stuff about Brandy in last week's episode, I didn't see Brooke defend Brandy one time. So I just kind of didn't like that. I felt like Brandy was begging for Brooke's friendship. It just felt weird to me. But during this meetup between Brooke and Brandy, Brooke ends up getting a phone call from Evelyn, and it's Evelyn inviting her and Brandy to Cheyenne's event. And basically, I was surprised that, Brooke said that she was going to go to the event despite Jackie being there, because she just made this big deal about Brandy inviting her to an event that Jackie was going to be at and made it this big deal, and now she's going to show up just fine to an event where Jackie's going to be at. So I'm confused as to why they jumped down Brandy's throat then. So Cheyenne finally decides to go visit Jackie, and she tells Jackie that when she went to Brandy's cooking event that Jackie was supposed to be at but didn't show up to, Evelyn ended up pulling out her phone, showing them paperwork that she found that said that Jackie was allegedly arrested for prostitution in 1987, and she ends up asking Jackie if it's true, and Jackie said that it wasn't true and it was probably mistaken identity. Now look, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know if Jackie was really arrested in 1987. I really don't give a damn what happened with Jackie in 1987. It's none of my business. I mean, if it's true or not, it doesn't really make a difference in anybody else's life. I don't know why Evelyn thought that it was smart to do this anyway, because at the end of the day, she said at that same dinner where she exposed Jackie that she had a guy pay her money to do something to him in the bedroom. So technically she did the same thing that Jackie did. She just didn't get arrested for it. So I don't really know why she thought it was a good idea to bring out this information. But Jackie got so pissed off that she started saying that somebody told her that Evelyn has been engaging in bestiality. And look, I just feel like it's messy. I don't feel like they should be spreading rumors about each other, especially sexual stuff. I just feel like it's too much. I did think that it was a little bit funny because I'm like, where did Jackie get this fucking information from? But it's just getting really, really messy at this point. Now, Brooke, Brandy, and Jennifer end up meeting up to catch up, and Brooke tells them about her new man that she has, and basically they're moving really fast. She said that she already loves him and that he's going to be moving to the same state as her. She said that they picked the date for them to get married, and basically Jennifer and Brandy were questioning this guy and wondering if he was actually a good fit for Brooke, and I can understand that they're friends with her, so they're gonna have some concerns. However, I feel like Brandy and Jennifer are not the right people to be questioning Brooke about her choices and men, because Brandy is still with her husband who cheated on her so many times you can't even keep count of it. And then on top of that, Jennifer is engaged to a man who has a very sketchy past, and I feel like he's hiding a lot that Jennifer doesn't know about, and if she does know about it, she's just brushing it off because she's desperate. So I just feel like they're not the right people to question Brooke. Now, everyone ends up showing up to Cheyenne's event, and there was a little bit of awkward tension at the table because obviously there's some issues between Brandy and Evelyn, and then obviously everybody sees Jackie sitting across from them, so they're looking at her 3 times sideways. So I just felt like there was definitely going to be some drama at this event. However, there was no drama between Brandy and Evelyn because Brandy and Evelyn basically had a little talk at the table where they agreed that they were both just being protective over Brooke and that neither one of them meant any harm. So basically the two of them kind of squashed their beef. Now Cheyenne ends up pulling Brandy to the side and bringing her to Jackie. I don't know why she thought that was a good idea, because despite the fact that Brandy did tell people that she thinks that Jackie has a good heart, she still doesn't like Jackie. She was still a part of listening in on Jackie's conversation with British, and she's the one who went back and told everybody what Jackie was saying. So they really don't have a friendship with each other. And this conversation was very awkward because when Jackie apologized to Brandy for not showing up to her cooking event, Brandy was really upset with Jackie because Jackie promised that she would come. However, I think that, Brandy should be thankful that Jackie didn't show up, because if Jackie did show up, it was going to be a complete disaster. And her and Brooke probably wouldn't have made up because, they would have been more upset at Brandy if Jackie actually did show up. Now, Brandy gets annoyed at Jackie because when Brandy brings up that Jackie agreed to come to the event so that she can make up with the other women, Jackie pretended like she didn't know anything about that. And the thing about it is that I feel like Jackie knows that she did say that she was going to try to make up with some of the women, but I don't really feel like she has to make up with them, because at the end of the day, whether she takes accountability or not, that's still not going to stop what they already think about her. They already don't like Jackie. Every single season it's everybody against Jackie. So whether she made up with them or not, it wouldn't have made a difference, because next season they would have had an issue with her again, and it would just continue the cycle. So I just really don't think that it would have been necessary for her to show up to that dinner and try to make up with these women. Now, here's where things end up taking the turn for the worse at Cheyenne's event, because Cheyenne is on the microphone and she's calling out questions, and if you've done it before, you have to stand up. And she saw the ladies at the Basketball Wives table just raising their hand and not standing up. I think Evelyn was one of the only ones that did stand up, and the only person that Cheyenne called out on the microphone was Brooke, and I thought that that was weird, because Brooke wasn't the only person sitting down, especially not at that table. Most of them were sitting down. And she kind of kept pinpointing Brooke out of everybody. Like, she kind of called Brooke out multiple times, and I just thought it was weird. I'm wondering if something happened between the two of them in the past that we don't know about, because Brooke did say a few episodes ago that she does know Cheyenne and she has been around her, and she feels like, you know, Cheyenne was a wild child and she did some weird things. So to me, Brooke kind of implied that she doesn't really like Cheyenne that much. So I'm wondering if there's a history there that we don't know about. Now, Jackie presented an award, and then she said that she was leaving. And when she was leaving, she told Cheyenne that if they try her in this group, that she needs to stand her ground and defend herself. And look, I know some people were saying that Jackie amped up Cheyenne to go at Brooke the way that she did, but I don't really think that what Jackie said was wrong to Cheyenne, because it is true. If you're the new girl in this group, you have no choice but to stand your ground and defend yourself and check the disrespect, because if you don't, they're going to walk all over you and they're going to run you right off the show. We've seen this happen numerous amounts of times. So I don't think what Jackie said to Cheyenne was wrong. But Cheyenne ended up going up to the table where the girls were sitting at, and she told them that next time she does an event like this and she calls for people to stand up, she hopes that they actually do stand up. And Brooke told her that she felt like she was singling her out and she didn't appreciate that. And basically Cheyenne said that she thought that it was tasteless and classless for them to not stand up when she asked them to. And so obviously Brooke got upset about that. And so Cheyenne and her kind of had a little bit of a back and forth. And then Cheyenne said that everybody else can come to drinks, but that she doesn't want Brooke to come. So Brooke ended up standing up and saying that she was going to come. And they kind of were in each other's faces a little bit, and it almost turned physical. So Cheyenne ended up calling security. Now, I do feel like things went a little bit too far between Brooke and Cheyenne at this event, but I definitely feel like Cheyenne was the aggressor in the situation, because to me, she was being very condescending, and I think that it was wrong that she pinpointed Brooke out of everybody else. I can see if Brooke was the only person sitting down, but she wasn't, so I feel like she pinpointed Brooke for a reason. So once people see that Brooke and Cheyenne are getting ready to fight each other, that's when some of Cheyenne's friends start yelling things out to Brooke, and that's when Brooke is yelling things back out to them. It looks like things are going to end up turning physical, but security quickly gets the Basketball Wives out of this event. But when they're outside, some of Cheyenne's friends follow them outside, so Brooke sees them and she starts questioning them, and it starts to get ugly all over again. Now, everybody did leave the event without being touched, but I just thought that it got really crazy at the end. And after the event was over and they all got out of there, that's when Brooke said that she doesn't want anything to do with Cheyenne anymore. And Jennifer said that she has an event coming up that Jackie has to be invited to, because Jackie is actually a part of the project, and everybody said that they understand that Jackie has to be there, but that they don't want to be around Cheyenne. So Jennifer said that she wasn't going to invite Cheyenne. And Giselle pointed out that she understands that Evelyn is starting to like Cheyenne, but nobody's really feeling her. And so Evelyn said that she was going to go meet up with Cheyenne to have a conversation with her, because she really did like her and she was trying to build a friendship. So I'm confused as to how Evelyn claims that she's so protective over Brooke and she cares about Brooke so much, and if anybody does anything to Brooke, she's not going to like them, and she jumped down Brandy's throat for inviting Jackie to an event that Brooke was going to be at, but then she decided to go meet up with Cheyenne and be friendly with her after Brooke and Cheyenne just got into it, and Cheyenne kicked Brooke out of her event. So I just don't know if Evelyn is really protective over Brooke, or it just depends on the person that Brooke is getting into it with, where she'll flip out about it because she already doesn't like the person. So I'm just questioning Evelyn at this point. But Evelyn and Cheyenne do end up meeting up with each other, and she does question Cheyenne as to why she pinpointed Brooke out of everybody else when everybody was sitting down too. And basically Cheyenne said that she doesn't regret what she did, and she did feel like Brooke was being tasteless and classless and nasty. And to me, Evelyn didn't really check Cheyenne for the things that she was saying about Brooke, but she didn't really like what Cheyenne was saying. So now she's feeling conflicted because now she feels like she can't be friends with Cheyenne anymore. I don't think that she was ever really trying to be genuine friends with Cheyenne in the first place, but it was just messy, and I feel like Cheyenne is messy. I don't feel like anybody should be cool with her because I don't feel like she's anybody's friend. I feel like she's an opportunist.